All right, you guys. Well, I am so excited. Um, I know that everybody has got a ton going on. It is Christmas is approaching, the holidays are approaching for everyone, and everyone is busy. So I appreciate you guys being on here because I really want to share with you tonight about really building a team and a family and a community. And I think that's such an important part of what we do because there are a lot of network marketing companies out there. And if you look at a lot of those other companies, or if you talk to people who've ever been in any of those other companies, myself included, and lots of you guys I know have tried other things. People always ask me what the difference is with Isogenics. And for me personally, I think the biggest difference is the community of people. It's the culture that Jim and Kathy have created. And they actually at corporate have a meeting once a month. It's a culture meeting to make sure that they're doing things and that they're making sure that the culture of Isogenics stays on family and on integrity and on all the values, the core values that you see posted at corporate and the core values you see on the boxes that you get at your house, and on everything that we do. And so it's just such an important part of what our company is and what we are about. So I'm going to share with you guys something personal that I was not planning to share until about 30 minutes ago when I found it. But God has a way of working things out. So before this call, I always pray and just ask that I have the right words. And so this was given to me. So I guess I'm going to share it, even though I'm hesitant to do so. So tonight, when we're going to talk about basically having a servant's heart as the leader of your team. If you have one person on your team, you are a leader on your team. So, you have to remember that even if you don't feel equipped to be a leader, you're put at the right place at the right time with the right people. And so that's where you're called to be. And so as I was getting ready for tonight, I was moving stuff around. Like I just said, my office is a zoo right now where Justin built me a new office and I'm trying to get everything organized. And I picked up this little book that I've had forever. It's called The Heart of a Leader. And so I just started flipping through it. And in my Bible and in other places, when something really speaks to me, I put the date because I want to be able to look back later and go, oh, that was important to me then. Why was that important? And so some of you know this and some of you don't, but before Isogenics, I did Mary Kay and I drove a pink Cadillac and I learned tons of amazing stuff there and met lots of incredible women that have, journeyed here with me. But when I left that experience after 5 years of throwing my heart over the bar, it was not the most positive exit. So I'll just say that. And so as I got this book out and was thumbing through it, I had a note written in here from October of 2005, which all the stuff with Mary Kay happened in June of 2005. So this was just a few months later. And I can tell you that I've always I've just had a natural confidence. My parents have always told us we could do whatever we, put our minds to. And I've always had a really strong faith. And I believe that, that all of you can have greatness in you, that all of you do have greatness in you, and you can do whatever you put your minds to. But I can tell you that experience with that company really shook my confidence. And if you knew me then and you knew me now, it's like two separate people. And I say that because I don't know if you guys have ever went through anything where like my confidence was so shaken, where you feel like you have no value, that you can't provide anything worth value to anyone. Does that, anybody relate to that? Ever been at that low point where you're like, what does it matter what I think? Because at this point, that's where I was, the lowest confidence point in my life. And that was in June of 2005. And so this was written in October. I wrote it October 28th of 2005. And I wrote down in my own writing on the bottom of this page, I choose today to always believe in myself. And I don't know why I wrote that. That was, 12 years ago that I'm looking back and looking at this now. And this book just fell into my hands tonight right before this call. But this line I had underlined, it says, be your own best friend and do yourself the greatest favor that you can. And that is believe in yourself. And so, what I want to say to you is you may be on here tonight, and I have a lot of people messaging me after these Zooms, and they're like, I'm a straggler. Like, I have no upline. I don't have anybody, who's running promotions for me or helping me. And so I'm glad you're getting on here because, it's so important that, we really can't go out and believe in others and love others if we don't believe in ourselves and we don't love ourselves first. And this is totally not what I was going to talk about tonight. But when I found this, I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to. And so, the thing is that for me, I get my confidence, and it's easier for me to believe in myself because I have unconditional love from my Savior. And I'm just going to go here with you guys because I feel like I'm called to on this call. And so, you can think that's crazy and that's totally cool, or you can believe me, and that's cool too. But what I found is that when I feel like I have unconditional love, that I didn't earn it, that I can easily give away unconditional love. I got this tattoo when we came out of the Grand Canyon, and it says grace alone, because I felt like that God's grace carried me out of the canyon, and because I got really sick, and I felt like God's grace has carried me through a lot of things. And so I got that on my wrist so that when I'm challenged with my husband, who's amazing, when I'm challenged with my kids or with anybody on this call in my business, I can just look down and go, okay, you've been given grace over and over and over again. Give grace back to your people. Give grace to your spouse. Give grace to the people who need it. And so you guys, I don't know why I'm sharing all this with you tonight, but I think somebody needed to hear it. And so just love yourself, because you really can't pour belief and love into your team and your people if you don't believe and have love for yourself. Okay. So I want to talk to you guys about really having, an I am mentality. And what I mean by that is, what do you say to yourself every single day? Do you say, because I want you to think about, I would never say to Melanie, oh, you're this, you're that, because Melanie wouldn't put up with it, and I would never say that. But we say those things to ourselves all the time. And I'll just give you a perfect example. I am speaking at New Year's kickoff, and I'm going to share this there so you'll hear me share this. But I was working on my piece this week, and all the women that I'm on the panel with are like this big, like they're all like size 2, like the size of my finger, and I'm not. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like I've got to do this before there, I got to do this, I got to make sure I look like this, like all this crap came in my mind. Like, how many of you guys have ever had crap in your head, right? And I'm like, what are you doing, Hilary? Like, why? Like, I caught myself and I literally went like this, get out of my brain, like get out of my brain. And I had to catch myself. And I think I said, to a friend of mine, if my brain still goes there, and I am really good at, as soon as something negative comes in, catching it, like what is happening to everybody else? And so really retraining my brain on, I am, good enough. I am equipped. I am able to do this. I am a great leader. I am a great mother. I am a good wife, like all those things. And so you guys daily putting that in front of your mind. And so I got these little note cards. I bought this packet of note cards. Look how many of them there are. There's like a zillion. And this week with my kids, they go out on Christmas break on Monday. And so they're going to go through here and they're going to pick all their favorite colors. And they're going to write 20 I ams for their rooms. And we're going to hang them all over their rooms. Things that they are smart and they are funny and they are kind. Because you guys, if what you're telling yourself every day is what you're going to say to your team, it's what you're going to say to your people. As I was reading through this little book that dropped back into my life, it basically had a comment about, I want you guys to hear this because it was so good. It said, okay, if you want to know why your people are not performing well, step up to a mirror and take a peek. And I thought, whoa, because, if we're not saying great things about ourselves and positive things about ourselves, then we're not going to be able to pour that into our team, right? And so what are you saying to yourself every day? And there is a great, great, great audio you can listen to. If you go to joelosteen.com and you listen to audio 520, it's all about like an I am mentality, having the right I am mentality. Because if you aren't, saying to yourself, I can do this, I am able, I am positive, I am whatever it is for you, then you're not going to be able to say that to your team members. And it's so important, you guys, that you lead your people with a servant's heart, that, you put them as the priority. And when you do that, I have people ask us all the time, like about the leadership pools. And I know some of the leaders in the company hate when I say this, but I'm going to say it. Like, I don't even know when we're in the leadership pools. When our check is bigger on some 15th of the month than other 15th, I'm like, woo, we were in the pools. And people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you say that out loud. But it's because my focus is not on my paycheck. My focus is on if I'm helping my people, grow their cycles and become directors and become executives, then I know we're going to make money in the pool. I'm not worried about it. And, if we have a month where we're not, then we don't. So, but my focus is not going to be to where my income is and what my cycles are every single week. It's instead focusing and having a servant's heart on, building your people, believing in your people. And I just think that's so important because, if you don't know what your people's goals are, I think there's two responsibilities that you have. Number one is you better know what your people's goals are. And then you better do everything in your power to help them achieve that. So, if you're saying, that's great, Erica, that your goal is to hit executive, but you're not willing to help her, then that's not okay. But I know like Bree just went to Wisconsin and then went to Iowa and went here because she's focused on helping her people. And so you have to lead from a servant's heart. You have to, know your people's goals, and then you have to do the work to help them achieve their goals. Because when I enrolled in Isogenics, Jimmy Smith said to me, Hilari, when you enroll people, you take responsibility for their success. And he said, now I'm not saying you do all the work for them, but I am saying you lock arms with them and you help them every single step of the way. And you guys, I think that's so important because I think so many times we don't do that. We get people started and then we're like, next, who's next? And we go right to the next person. And you've got to be able to help those people. So I wrote down some things that we've done and that I think have helped us along the way. But, just like this call tonight, even if you have, 2 or 3 people on your team, do a call, just like a once a week team call, or set up a group meet on your phone, or do something where that team of people is connected, and you lead that team. Even if it's 3 or 4 people that you have that have their hand up, that's fine. That's where it starts for everybody. I don't know if CV's on here tonight, but we used to do meetings in St. Joe, and we did a Super Saturday, and we flew in Lenny Evans and Dave MacArthur and different people, and we had 12 people at the Super Saturday. 12. You guys, Super Saturdays, right, have like 500 now. We had 12 because we started somewhere, but if we wouldn't have started that little core group of people, then we wouldn't have what we have now. And so it's so important that I don't care if there's 2 people on your team, you're their leader. And if you don't step up, they're never going to know all the possibilities that are there for them and their family. So start doing a weekly call. We did it at 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. Every morning. We did it Monday through Friday at, I can't remember, was it 6:30? 6. Some of them are shaking their heads. 6:30, Bree's saying. 6:30 every morning, Monday through Friday for like 8 months. Peggy and I did this call, and then a lot of the leaders got in there and started helping every single morning. And it was just like 15 minutes of, you can do it. What's your goal for today? Believe in yourself. So, take responsibility and do that for your team. And I always say this, don't wait for people to be perfect to praise them. Because here's the deal. I've learned this through being a mom more than anything, that, perfection, it does not exist. And it was funny tonight. We had a crazy day. I was at the DMV for 2 hours, if that gives you any inclination, and my 3 and 4-year-old were there with me. So that was super exciting. And so I got home and we're running around trying to get ready for this call. And I literally like pulled my hair in a ponytail, and there's like 60 bobby pins shoved back here just so my hair wouldn't fall out. And Deacon goes, Mom, you look like an old lady with your hair like that. Like right before I got on here. I'm like, sweet. That's awesome. And so I'm trying to tell you, like, if you can let go of perfection, it will allow so much room for your team to have growth. Because if people think they have to do it exactly right and say the exact right thing, that's why I love the tools. Because you guys, perfection does not exist. And the sooner you can let go of that, the sooner your life will be happy. Like my life is crazy, but it's happy. It's so happy and full of joy, because I used to be so worried about being perfect. And then I had kids and I was like, oh, screw it. And so that's such a blessing for me. So, I mean, just know that, like, love your people where they are and help them along the way. Get them to New Year's kickoff. The tickets are $125. I mean, there's no reason why everybody on your team, people enrolling right now, should still be going to NYKO. And how you breathe belief into your people. Are you doing calls with them? Are you doing Zooms? Get a stack of cards. A lady said this at a David Wood event a couple months ago, and I loved it. But she said she put 7 cards on her desk or 10 cards on her desk at the beginning of every week. man, at the end of the week, they have to be gone. And they're just cards that you can write to your mom, to your sister, to people on your team, but just saying that you love them and you believe in them and thank you for being there for you. Because how great does it feel to get a card in the mail or just something, just so you know that somebody's thinking of you and that somebody's believing in your ability. I don't know. I like that old-fashioned, still handwritten note. So I think that's cool. Run challenges for your team. Run promotions for your team. You know, when I hear people say, I can't afford to run a promotion for my team, I'm going to say this nicely to you. You wouldn't make any money if you didn't have a team. If you didn't have those people, you wouldn't make any money. So I one time had a leader who's a 3-star say to me, well, I can't run that promotion because I don't have the money to run that promotion. But I knew she was making like $80,000 a year with Isogenics. And so I said, listen, if all these people that you don't want to run the promotion for quit tomorrow, you'd make $80,000 less. Run the freaking promotion. So I'm not saying give away your house, but I am saying you need to understand that your income comes from the people on your team who are building a business and who are sacrificing time away from their families and who are spending their hard-earned money ordering the products every month. And so figure out what works in your budget. Like, we don't run promotions if they don't return, have a return on them. So figure out what works. But I love running promotions that are tied to events. Right now we're doing a promotion with a group of people that we're working with. And I'm just looking at this. It's like crazy insane. But we're working, sorry, that's my ADD coming out. I'm like, gotta try to fix this. But we are running a promotion for New Year's kickoff, and it's based upon building consultants. And so based upon the number of consultants they build, they're getting some of our favorite things. And so it's super fun. It's, things that are your favorite things, whatever it may be. We did a promotion where based upon building consultants, we took people to Kendra Scott, and they got so much money on a gift card based upon how many consultants they build. And you might be like, Hilary, I'm brand new. I have 4 people. Great. Then at New Year's kickoff, you better be having a team dinner on Friday night for those 4 people, because whoever your key people are that you're building right now, you should be doing something for. So even if you have 2 people going to New Year's kickoff, on Friday night, that time is open to take your team, your core group, and take them to dinner, or go back to your, hotel room, and everybody, bring their goals. Just do something to show your people that you appreciate them and that you're grateful for them. I love challenges. I love promotions. I love tying them to events. We're giving away New Year's kickoff tickets. Something really exciting that I found out today. Some of you might have known this. But the company is actually going to do a promotion in the month of December that if you enroll at least 5 people, this is for all of you listening if you're on this call. So if you enroll at least 5 people in the month of December, and they start with packs that are 150 BV or greater, in the month of January, the company is going to give you 5 free enrollment codes. So if you enroll at least 5 people in the month of December who do at least 150 BV, then in January, the company's going to give you 5 free enrollment codes, okay? If you enroll 10 people in the month of December who do at least 150 BV, then in January, they're going to give you 5 free enrollment codes, and they're going to give you a free ticket to New Year's kickoff. Or you can have a free ticket to an Isogenics University in any time in 2018. You guys, that's a huge deal. Having 10 enrollments this month, then this should be a month where you're having tons of enrollments. And I know people like, everybody wants to wait till January. I don't think we're enrolling people. And what I just say to people is, why would you wait till January? It's just food. Let's get your order in now so that if you do want to wait and start on January 1st, you'll have it already. But let's just go ahead and do now. Just do Ionics and a shake every day. You won't want to kill your family through the holidays. Like, my kids are off school for almost 3 full weeks. I'm going to drink a lot of Ionics. And so get people started on the products now. So 10 enrollments with at least 150 BV, and you get 5 free enrollment codes for January. And you either get a New Year's kickoff ticket, or you can get a university ticket for 2018 for free. So here's the scoop on this. You have to, and my assistant Jen, let's all blow Jen a kiss before I announce this. Everybody, if you can see Jen, okay, Jen, don't kill us. So at the end of the month, she's gonna shoot me. At the end of the month, you have to email my assistant Jen, let's say by January 3rd, because she's not gonna want these coming the whole month of January, by like the 3rd of January. And you have to tell her your name and your ID number and your 10 people and their ID numbers, because we have to send this into the company. This is not, the company's not announcing this promotion anywhere. It's something they said we could offer on this call tonight and for our team. So email her. Her email is Hilari Courtney at Gmail, and it's Hilari, one L and an I. Hilari Courtney at gmail.com. And you'll email her by January 3rd. Just send her one email. Do not send her a bunch of emails, like one with everybody's information in it. List your name and your ID, and then your 5 people or your 10 people and their ID numbers. And then she'll forward that on to corporate for us. And so that is just an awesome promotion that the company is doing for our team this month. And so you guys, I mean, it's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, you know, when I was talking to Sean today at corporate, just saying, what else can we do for our team? You know, is there anything else we can offer? Just always thinking about what you can give back to your people. Because if you have that servant's mentality of, well, how can I serve? How can I give more? Like, you will never, I always say, you know, you can't outgive God. Like, it's not possible, right? And so I just keep giving more, and more is given to you. Just be a funnel for your team. And so it works. I promise. I've done it for a long time, and it continues to work. So, you know, we kind of talked about recognition. We talked about, you know, maybe I can unmute the line. I'm just kind of a little nervous to do that with this many people on here. But you guys could, you know, if you have a promotion or if you have questions about how we've done our promotions, I want to make sure just that the whole focus of this call is that you remember that even if you have one person on here, that you know, that you thank them. So, you know, if you're on here and you can see team members on here, you know, you have people on the call, I would message them after the call and say, listen, I appreciate you. Maybe I haven't been the leader I should have been, but I got a little guy sneaking in. He wants to see all you guys. Maybe I haven't been the leader, you know, that I should have been. But, you know, I want to be now. And so just start doing something with your team. Send a card. It costs like $2, or send a text, which is free, and just tell your people that you appreciate them. Because I can tell you what, you know, I still get excited when I get a call from Kathy, or I get excited when the company says, hey, you know, I've seen some of you guys get stuff in the mail from the company for doing the different promotions that are going on, and you're all so excited about it. It's the same idea that your people will be, you know, if you just recognize them. And so it doesn't have to be some, you know, huge thing. But if you earned Rise Up last year, so Rise Up, if you're on here, is our 2-star and above retreat we do. That is going to be this next year in Lake Tahoe. We've announced that, and it's going to be amazing. But if you were there at this last year's, we sent out calendars to everybody. And so if you haven't got it yet, you'll get it the next couple of days. But everybody that was there got a calendar. And you'll have to go to my Facebook page if you haven't, and you'll have to watch Robin. She's on there. It's so funny. She's like audio. She goes through the calendar, and she's like, and look at this page, and look at this page. And why I'm telling you guys that is because you want to be there. Like, if you're on this call, you can earn Rise Up. It is the best event. I mean, everybody who's there, like, look at all these women shaking their heads and the guys shaking their heads. It's the best. And if you're on here, you can earn it. We want you to be there. I mean, it's 3 days where, you know, ourselves, Emily and Hayden and Lori and Chris, we do great things for you guys, great training. We spoil you rotten with gifts. It's just, we want to show you how much we appreciate you. And we are going to bring in some of the best trainers. This event is it's our 3rd one, and it is going to be the best one. I can't tell you who, but we have 2 awesome guest trainers coming in that's going to just be amazing. And so you guys want to earn that. So put that on your calendar. It's the last weekend in September. I'm pulling that up to tell you the dates. I think it's the 27th, but go ahead and mark your calendars now. Let me look really quick. Yeah, it's September 27th, 28th, and 29th. September 27th, 28th, and 29th. It's on the calendar. If you were there last year, you're going to get a calendar. It's going to have the date on there. If you weren't there, earn your way there. Call your upline. If you don't have an upline, message me on Facebook and just say, how do I get there? Because, you guys, people are joining today who are going to hit 2-star in the next, 6 weeks. I mean, you have all the way until June to earn it, or August or something. I don't know the deadline without it being in front of me, but we want you to be there because I know it makes a huge difference for you guys. And we love you guys, and we know you can do it. That's why we offer all this kind of stuff, because we want you guys, to be able to go for it. And I may have shared this on one of the calls, but I'm going to share it again. We did a call several maybe 2 years ago. And if people got on this Friday morning, they got a book. And so did I already tell you guys this a couple weeks ago? No? Okay. So they got a book. If we did this call every morning, Monday through Friday for 15 minutes, it was like every single day we did this training call. And we would have like 10 or 12 people. It was always the same 10 or 12 women on the call every single morning. And so I said, this for upcoming Friday, we're going to offer this book. If you get on the call, you're going to get this book. And we had like 60 some people get on the call. And usually we had like 10 or 12 that got up every morning at 6:30. Bree's shaking her head. She remembers this. Like there's usually like 10 or 12 women who were on. And this morning we had like 60 men, women, like 62 people. And I got so mad because here's why. People were willing to get up, to get on a call, to get a book. But they weren't willing to get on a call to change their life. You know, the call, the purpose of it and the intent of it is to give you the skills to be able to grow a huge business. You know, and so this call tonight, you know, make sure that you're getting your team on here because I listened to the recording last week of Carla's call. If you have not listened to that, you are missing out. Carla's call last week, I mean, she killed it. And I appreciate her so much doing that. I was flying home from an event, and so I couldn't be on here. But you guys, go to our website, JenandHilaryCourtney.com. It says Monday Night Training Zooms. They're all listed. All of them that we've done are all there. You can share them with your people. But you guys, I can just tell you this, that you can know all the nuts and bolts. You can know all the Facebook stuff Carla taught you. You can know all the algorithms. You can know the websites. You can know all that stuff. But if you don't love your people, I just don't ever buy that you're gonna make it in this business. Like we've had so many people come in and say, I mean, they're smart people and they've known all the information and they suck at it because they don't love their people. They don't really care about their team members. Like if I say to you, you know, if you don't know your people and you don't know their kids and you don't know what sports they're in and you don't know your people, why are you doing this? Because I'm telling you, when you get to a point where you've been doing this for 11 years and you make over $1 million a year, you don't have to do this anymore. You know, I just got asked that when I was in New Orleans a couple weeks ago, like, why are you still doing this? Like, you don't have to be here. You know, I was gone from my kids. My son just walked out of the room. I'm doing this call right now. My husband's putting my kids to bed so I can do this call. You know, I do it because I want you guys to have the freedom that this has given us. I want you to be able to say, you know, I want to give back as much as we want. I don't want to have to think about, you know, what I can give to and how much we give. Or if you want to do something fun for your family for Christmas, I don't want you to have to think about, you know, just making the phone call and paying for that or whatever it may be, you know. So just love your people, but you got to love yourself first. And you can't love yourself if you don't know your value. So go to joelosteen.com and listen to message 520. You'll thank me later. It's really good. This week, I was listening to that when I flew. I had a flight this week, and so I was driving to the airport at 3:30 in the morning, and I was listening to Joel Osteen on the way to the airport, and it just in my spirit felt like I needed to text this to a lady on our team. So I texted her. I said, you need to listen to message 320 or 520, like right now. And she messaged me back and said, I just taught my team on that Sunday night. How did you know that? Did you listen to my call? And I said, no, like I just felt like I was supposed to call you and tell you that. And so that call really impacted her. And I promise you guys, if you listen to it, it will do the same for you. It's just about knowing your value, and you are valued and you're important. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you guys tonight. So hope you can be back on next week. We're going to do the call next week at 8:30. And then the next week is Christmas, and the next week is New Year's. So we won't have one on Christmas and on New Year's Eve, or is it New Year's Day? One or the other. But we won't have those two, but we will have next week. So if you want to hop on next week, but just remember the company promotion. If you get 5 enrollments who do at least 150, you get 5 free enrollment codes. If you have 10, you get a free ticket to an ICU. You guys get $200 value. Just for having those 10 enrollments, and then you get 5 free enrollment codes on top of that. So you have to have those emailed to me again at HilaryCourtney@gmail by January 3rd. And trying to think if there's anything else that I really wanted to make sure and say. But I think that's it. So have an awesome week. Love your families. Love your friends. Okay. Bye, everybody. Katie wants to come say bye. Oh, bye.
Bye. Thanks, Hilary.
You're welcome.
Bye, everybody. Great night.
Thank you.